Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, I've got to give a special shout out to my man, Dave V. Dave Vogelsang, Vogel Samples, the Don Dave V has provided me with two samples. I've never had these before, so I've never had any E.H. Taylor barrel proof. This is batch 12 and batch 13. Actually, I want to put them this way so it's easier for you guys to follow on camera. I'm not going to blind them. I've never had any E.H. Taylor barrel proof. I've had the single barrel, the small batch. Behind me, you see more small batch and the small batch rye. But I hear that they're very good. I don't know which one is supposed to be the better one. So that's why I'm saying I don't need to blind these. I'm just going in and giving you my thoughts on these and telling you which one I believe is the best. Now, Dave does one heck of a job packaging these things up, as you can see, man. I remember when I first would get samples from Dave, I didn't know how to open them. I would always try and peel the shrink wrap off of them. Dave said, just crack them. He said, crack them like you crack anything else, and that made much more sense. But anyway, I am a huge fan of a lot of the barrel strength Buffalo Trace products. So like, I've got the Stag back there. You guys know how I feel about the Stag, but I'm excited, man, because I've never had any E.H. Taylor barrel proof stuff. So let's get into it. So we're going to get into batch 12 first. Let's get into the nose. Yeah, typical Buffalo Trace grapiness on the nose. Pick up a little bit of black pepper and oak. A touch like a sweet grape too, like a sweet grapey note. All right, let's get into batch 13. Very similar on the nose, but this one has more of a syrupy grapey smell. Maybe it's a little more muted than batch 12 because I'm not picking up like that black pepper note that I picked up. Yeah, it's a sweet syrupy grape. All right, let's get into the palate. All right, well first let me put these things up in the camera. I don't know if you guys can see that. Very good color on both of these. Very good color on both of these. Both are coating glass very well. I'm excited. Like I don't want to dive right into it. Like my mouth is watering. I'm excited. All right, let's get into the palate of 12. That grape did transfer over, but this is a very concentrated, like sugary note. There's a very concentrated sugary note with a little bit of that grape like right on top. It's got a lot of oakiness to it. It almost hit me with a little bit of drying. It is still lingering on the palate. It is that pepper did transfer over, transferring. I mean, turn the mids turning into like that pepper and char and chocolate. Like I'm getting a lot of chocolate on the back end. I might have to let this thing settle down a little bit because it's still going. I'm a huge fan of E.H. Taylor, but I am not a huge fan of the new price of the small batch. As a matter of fact, I was talking to someone in the comments today because of the last video I just released, and that thing has jumped up from 35 bucks to $70, man. And it might even be a couple bucks more. I got to check the ABC website. So since I couldn't get them for a very long time, I hopped on them when they hit the ABC. So when they hit the Virginia ABC, I hopped on them. Now that I have enough, like I've got, I think 3 on the shelves in my other room. I don't buy them. And like that price is hard for me to stomach. And that price is also hard for me to stomach when it comes to the Blantons, because we were talking about that too. Like Blantons being what, 80, 90 bucks, man, that's crazy for that bottle. I liked it at 60. Some people still didn't like it at 60. I liked it at 60, but at $20 to $30 higher, I just can't see it, man. All right, let's get into batch 13. Oh, that's rich too. That's dark, rich, oaky. I'm not picking up any cherry. I'm not picking up any grape on the palate. Like the nose was super syrupy and grapey, but like the palate is just rich, dense. It's condensed, just like brown sugary and just, oh wow. Yeah, going back into the nose still has that grapey, syrupy, grapey smell. All right, we're gonna go backwards. So I'm gonna sip this one again. I will say this though, I like it on the palate. The finish is not lasting as long as batch 12, but it is still a really good pour, and it's still got a really good finish. The finish is very charry. To me, the finish is very charry. Not as chocolate forward as the finish on 12. All right. Oh, wow. That's really good, man. That's really like rich, and I'm almost picking up like this super rich, dense caramel note. That is really good, but it does get very charry. And it could just be my palate today. It does get very charry on the back end. 13 is a monster. If I came across 13 out in the field with a good price, I don't know. I might have to pick that thing up. All right, let's go back into 12. See, 12 is rich, 12 is very good. 12 has this chocolate note on the finish. It's charry and chocolate, and it still has a little bit of that fruitiness that I was talking about up front. When you first pour it, it's got this grapiness to it, but it's not like the typical grapiness that you get out of like the Stags. And like normally Stags, like I love that note, but these are richer. These, if you gave me these blind, like I wouldn't say, oh, that's a Buffalo Trace profile. These are very rich, chocolate, caramel, thick, viscous on the palate. This one has a tinge of that Buffalo Trace grape in the beginning, but then it turns into like this rich, almost like both of these, like that rich chocolate brownie note. They're very, very rich and viscous on the palate. When it comes to, and I know you guys didn't chime in just to see which one I thought was the best, but when it comes to which one I prefer, just marginally 13. 12 is really good. 12 is good. It's got a little bit of that grapiness, like I said up front. Both of these on the mid palate are very like rich and dense and like dark chocolate and like dark, the brownies. But it's just this one with that caramel note to me just edges it out. This one does have the longer finish. Like the finish does continue to go and go and go. Now this one having a charry finish, that could be a little bit of a knock to some people. When it comes to char on the finish, I don't mind it unless it's like I'm swallowing like a piece of coal or something. Like it's gotta be bad. I don't mind it because I like oaky products, and that just puts me in like, just like the frame of mind of just having, just a oakiness to it. But when it comes to these two though, man, I am gonna have to say, I am really digging the 13. If I can find one out in the wild, I'll probably pick it up. The 12 is very good as well. I, once again, appreciate you, Dave, man. You guys don't know how much Dave contributes to the entire bourbon community. Some of these smaller channels that you are watching, there's a great chance, not a good chance, a great chance that Dave has provided them with samples. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out, let's get it to a drop. Till next time.